Hey everyone, it's time. Thank you so much. We have our host today, Melissa, and she'll be kicking it off.
You see it okay?
Hi everybody.
Oh mom, get out the way.
We're all here. Good day. Welcome to all of you, the Shavies, the amazing support system, friends and family out there watching on YouTube. I am Melissa, and I am a volunteer event organizer, core committee member, donor. I've shaved my head twice, and also happy to say that I'm part of the St. Baldrick's Foundation team, and I'm a cancer parent as well. It is my pleasure to be able and privilege to be able to be welcoming all of you here. It is such a multifaceted group. There is no place I would rather be, even if I could be someplace else. The impact that all of you are making and following through on this promise is nothing short of amazing, and there's nothing virtual about that. That's very real. Here to also welcome you and say a few words is our strong and kind and gracious CEO, Kathleen Reddy.
Hello, everybody. It's my honor to welcome you on behalf of all the children and families we serve and the physician scientists whose work you're fueling. With all that's going on in the world right now, know that you may be feeling shy about asking people to support you, and you may be wondering where you can contribute precious dollars to accomplish good for the world. But let me tell you why supporting St. Baldrick's is always a great idea. Together, we are the largest funder of childhood cancer research grants outside the federal government. Our largest of 3 annual cycles of grants will be made in June, and your generosity now will make those grants possible. St. Baldrick's volunteers have played a role in virtually every advancement made in the field of childhood cancer research in the last 20 years. And those grants include groundbreaking laboratory research, studies that take discoveries from the lab and translate them to patients, and clinical trials that verify the best known ways to treat kids. You've ensured a new generation of talented doctors are trained and ready to carry on the innovative research children with cancer are counting on for their futures. And the funds you raise are at work curing more than 100 types of childhood cancers. And that work is enabling doctors to move beyond chemotherapy, surgery, and radiation to develop new weapons to fight childhood cancers. Those new weapons include more humane therapies, such as immunotherapy, that allows children to not only grow up, but to live longer, healthier lives as survivors. Childhood cancer doesn't discriminate, and it's not taking time off because there's a pandemic going on. Just in the last minute or two that I've been talking with you, another child has been diagnosed with cancer. They've just been diagnosed and their fight has just begun. I want to thank you all for being part of that child's army and for showing their family they're not alone. It's now my privilege to introduce you to the man who first issued the challenge to shave, a challenge now heard around the world, one of St. Baldrick's illustrious founders and a member of the foundation's board of directors, Tim Kenny.
Good morning. Thank you, Kathleen. It'd be a good idea if I unmuted myself before I started speaking, I guess. Colin, good to see you again. If you show up another time, you're going to have to shave your head. You know that? Sorry. Yeah, I back in July 1999, the two founders and I had played a bad game of golf, and we're having a few lemonades on my deck, and as the night went on, I guess we were didn't have much else to talk about, so I said to the guys, you know, life is pretty good, we should do something to give back. And what we decided eventually to do in March 17, St. Patrick's Day 2000, which is 20 years ago, that we would get 17 guys, get them to raise $1,000 on each of their heads, and we'd raise 17,000 on March 17. Lo and behold, we raised about 104,000, which was phenomenal. And that's how we got in touch with Kathleen and the team. And we stole Kathleen from another organization because we knew how good she was. And she started out of her kitchen with a card table and a bad chair. So There's a lot of credit to be given to Kathleen for that. But, you know, fast forward, we've raised over $400 million, which is huge. And, you know, as Kathleen said, with the COVID-19 pandemic, it doesn't discriminate. And it, you know, children who have gone through treatments have always been in the situation that most of us, or all of us, are now, whether it be wearing masks or quarantining and the like. And, you know, you guys know firsthand what it's like to be kind of locked down, if you will. And these events are really, really phenomenal. They're the next best thing to having a physical event. And I'm sure most of you or all of you have participated in events in probably bars or firehouses or other places of fun. So it is extremely important that we continue to raise awareness, raise money for childhood cancer research. And this is a great way to do it. And I thank you so much for participating. You know, it does take time out of your day. And but the fact that there's so many, I think there's 51 people on right now, that is huge. So I want to thank you for participating. And remember, it's a somber cause, but a fun event. So I see a lot of hair and a lot of beards out there. So I think we're going to have some fun. So Colin, put that apron on. Let's go. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Hello? Can you guys hear me? Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having me here at your event. It's great to see St. Baldrick's still going strong no matter the circumstances. My name is James Chung. I'm a pediatric hematology oncology doctor at the University of California, Los Angeles. And I'm also very grateful to be a St. Baldrick's fellow. The research in my lab focuses on cancer metabolism, and that's this idea that because cancer cells are these abnormal cells that are growing out of control and sometimes very rapidly, they require certain changes in the cell compared to a normal cell. And part of these changes include changes in how the cell produces and uses energy and how much it produces building blocks for creating more cells. This is an idea that's already being used in a lot of current cancer therapies. Another unique thing about the lab I'm in is that we also study virus metabolism. So viruses, when they infect a person, they want to create more copies of themselves to go infect more people. But viruses don't have their own machinery to create more virus copies. So what they do is they infect a cell and they take over the machinery of that cell. And because they want to produce lots of copies, they also change the way cells use energy and produce these building blocks for creating more cells and viruses. And some viruses, when they infect cells, increase the risk of developing some cancers. One of these is called Epstein-Barr virus, or EBV. And that is a virus that is sometimes associated with the development of cancers in both children and in adults. And so what my research is focused on is trying to figure out how does an Epstein-Barr virus infection change the way a cell uses energy and produces building blocks for creating more virus and more cells, and how do those changes also contribute to the risk of developing cancer? And then once we find out what those changes are, can we block those changes to both stop the virus from producing more copies of itself and also hopefully to decrease the risk of developing cancer? Or in cases when cancer has already been developed, can we treat those cancers by blocking these changes so that it can't produce more copies of itself and grow rapidly? And so I'm very grateful to be able to do this research, and I really hope that someday it will have an impact on improving treatment for children with cancer. And I just want to say thank you so much for all the work all of you are doing to support childhood cancer research and to support our patients and their families.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. It is awesome to hear about what is happening on the other side. We appreciate you taking the time to do that, and we're excited to see the developments that come from your work. It's kind of neat if you think about it. This work started at a bench with a couple of friends, and you're at the laboratory bench and trying to take new treatments to the bedside. We really appreciate that. We appreciate your work. And, you know, all treatments come from research. Every treatment that every childhood cancer patient has comes from research, some of them from clinical trials. And we have a few families here to tell you what that means to them. I am looking to see, we have so many screens. This is awesome to see if Jonah's family is here. Jonah is one of our honored kids. A flash of energetic, bright blonde hair attached to the body of a preschool boy laughing and loving was usually all you saw. And that changed in July of 2015 when Jonah was 4. He was diagnosed with medulloblastoma. And while that's the most common form of malignant pediatric brain cancer, there are only about 350 new cases diagnosed in the USA each year. Jonah endured 10-month hospitalization for his treatment, which included multiple brain surgeries, 6 rounds of chemotherapy and stem cell transplant, and 30 sessions of radiation. Jonah's treatment has addressed his brain tumor, but has come at a high cost. And that's one of the things about childhood cancer treatment. He now requires a walker and hearing aids as part of his daily routine, and he is learning every day to compensate for the physical and the mental changes that come from the treatment. He's a bright spot, goofy, loving, and inclusive, and he's very much the same boy he was before treatment, even though he is so different. He hasn't met a dog or an Oreo that he doesn't like, and has a string of jokes to bring laughter into any room. And his compassion and caring for others is something that just sets him apart. So hopefully, Jonah, Stephanie, are you on? If so, it's your turn.
So I brought the whole gang, so I'm gonna just have everybody introduce themselves real quick. I'm Noah.
I'm Anna. I am Julia.
I'm Stephanie.
I'm Jonah.
I am Simon.
We're so happy to be here. I know Melissa kind of gave an overview of what our experience has been with pediatric cancer. But in July of 2015, Jonah was our 4-year-old. We had 4 kids at the time, and we were living a very full life. But things definitely took a change for us when the doctors found a grapefruit-sized mass in his brain, which turned out to be medulloblastoma, which, as Melissa said, is the most common form of malignant pediatric brain tumor. Within 48 hours of finding the mass, Jonah was taken in for surgery to remove the mass. And as a complication of that life-saving surgery, Jonah suffered a condition called posterior fossa syndrome. So our sweet little boy came out of this life-saving surgery on a ventilator without any purposeful movement. But because of the extent of Jonah's disease, he didn't have the luxury of having a nice recovery, and almost immediately had to start his chemotherapy. He had 6 rounds of high-dose chemotherapy. And I will tell you, as a parent, there's something very disconcerting about hooking your child up to a medication that the nurses come in gloved and gowned because they're not allowed to touch. But that was part of the treatment that was required for Jonah. After his 6 rounds of chemotherapy, he also underwent a stem cell transplant. And because of the posterior fossa syndrome, when Jonah wasn't at the Children's Hospital receiving chemotherapy or having treatment for chemotherapy complications, he was at the local rehab hospital relearning how to do everything, how to talk, how to smile, how to laugh, how to eat, how to sit, how to stand. And even today, Jonah continues to be in therapy 4 times a week to continue to work on those skills. After Jonah finished his treatment, he then went on for 30 sessions of high-dose proton radiation, which for young children can have long-term detrimental side effects. Because Jonah was in the hospital for 10 months, that's where our family lived. This house that we're in right now isn't where we spent most of our time. We spent most of our time in the hospitals because that was the only way we could be together as a family for those 10 months. We are so thankful to have Jonah with us today. long-term consequences and all. We wouldn't have it any other way. And we have had many friends who don't have the luxury of seeing their children today as a result of their treatment. But the thing is, the treatment that Jonah underwent was brutal. Chemotherapy, surgery, radiation. That's why we started to partner with St. Baldrick's. Actually, Noah shaved his head right before our quarantine lockdown happened with St. Baldrick's, because we really do believe in what St. Baldrick's does. Most pediatric cancer research is funded through private organizations like St. Baldrick's, and the funding and the research is what's going to make a difference for the children of the future. It's going to change the face of pediatric cancer so that we have better treatments, that we have cures, that the long-term side effects are not so significant for the children who will be diagnosed today and tomorrow. Because while we may all be living this life of lockdown, I think that it was Kathleen who said, there are children and families today, this very moment, who are having their lives changed as their children receive a diagnosis that will change everything. There are families at home right now who are worried about some weird symptoms, but think that the best thing they can do is keep their kids home safe, away from the hospitals. And they don't know that the diagnosis is just weeks away from them. And so what you guys are doing today in the midst of these unusual times that we're living really is going to make a difference to help change the face of pediatric cancer. And I think that Jonah might have a joke that he is hoping to be able to share, but he might need a little reminder.
What do you call life on St. Baldrick shaving?
I don't know, Jonah. What do you call lice on a St. Baldrick's shavy?
Homo?
Homeless?
Homeless.
And that's what we have. Thank you guys so much, and shave on.
That was adorable. Thanks for everything, and the joke was great. So we have another honored kid and to share with you as well, and that would be Colin with his mom, Becky. Colin was diagnosed at the age of 9 with stage 4 brain cancer. Within days, he had a full resection surgery to remove the tumor. He underwent 6 weeks proton radiation therapy and 13 months of chemotherapy. He finished in August of 2015 and is currently no evidence of disease. He's being monitored with an MRI every 6 months, and he is a strong athlete who played hockey, soccer, and golf prior to his diagnosis. He got back on the ice to relearn to skate 3 months post-surgery and tried to attend practices throughout chemotherapy treatment as much as possible. Throughout his treatment, Colin physically struggled with the effects of the treatment, but mentally he was strong, funny, sweet, and a fighter. So here is Colin and Becky.
Sorry, I gotta unmute myself. Hi, I'm Becky Schiller. This is Colin, and just as the previous family, Colin was diagnosed in June of 2014 with medulloblastoma. Our journey was a little different, and as it is in a lot of different cancers. Colin underwent resection surgery immediately within about 3 days. And from that point, he started a 6 weeks radiation and chemo treatment, and then 13 additional months of high dose treatment, 9 high dose treatments of chemo. So with that, he has been no evidence of disease since, so we continue to monitor to make sure it doesn't come back. Some advancements with research in the past couple of years has been they've learned to type medulloblastoma, which has been really great because it can give a family the direction of the type of medulloblastoma that they have, whether it's kind of the good type or the bad type. But unfortunately, Colin's tumor was so rare that we are unable to type, so we just have to go back for the MRIs and hope that we don't have a reoccurrence. He has suffered, the side effects, even though just 10 years before his diagnosis, the the outcome of a medulloblastoma patient was less than 20% survival rate. And today, like he was given 75%, it's still not at 100. And that's one of the things that research is needed to help these kids and many of the other friends that we have that battle brain and many other different cancers. As the other family, we have lost pretty much the majority of the friends that we have made through our cancer treatment. You know, when you have a handful of kids that you can go to an event with and none of them are here anymore, says that the research is greatly needed. You know, Colin, and one of the reasons he's afraid to talk sometimes is that he did lose part of his voice is part of treatment. He has shaky tremors. He had to relearn to walk as well. And we pushed the sports because we knew that that was what was in his heart that might get him to fight a little bit harder. And he also has memory problems where he struggles in school. But every day we fight back, and we have so many friends and family that support our team. We're wearing our team shirts today, which is our 3E and Can't Stop Colin team. We're 4 years into the St. Baldrick's fight, and we continue to come back every single year. Mr. Kenny Colin says that he's not shaving his head. He was bald way too long, so we'll let everybody else do it for him. Colin, you have anything?
Yeah. Like when I had surgery, my balance was all gone. It's like if I would be walking like in a straight line, I would just randomly run into a wall, just out of the blue. Yeah, it's all, but
so we still go through therapy every week ever since then. And this year in August, we hope to hear that he is clear, and we're 5 years post surgery that we can get those words cured. And none of that would happen without research. It's critical. And it's amazing that everybody here that's shaving today and fundraising during these times, we can't be even more thankful.
Thank you both so very much. It's so important for us to hear what it is that we're doing here, and you know, we know that this gives hope, and we want to make sure that we have more positive outcomes, and we have more of our kids here to be able to do these activities with us. So without further ado, I know that a lot of you are here for a particular reason. So I am going to introduce two of our team members to give some special recognition to some of our shavies that are here today, and then we'll be getting started. So I would like to introduce to you our beautiful and smiley Liz, who will be introducing some of those special people.
Hi, everyone. We're so excited you could join us from all across the country and across the world today so that we could be here together to virtually shave and experience this event together. Myself and my colleagues are on the call. So Cynthia, Kelsey, Melissa Chow, Mariella. So we'll all be calling on shavies in just a few minutes, but I'd like to commence our league ceremony. And so our League of Legendary Heroes program is a participant recognition program. So volunteers who have participated for 3 or more years enter the league as a Squire of Hope. After reaching their 7th year of participation, they're known as a Knight of the Ball Table. Once they hit their 10th year, they're known as a Knight Commander. Our Crusaders for a Cure are recognized when they reach their 15 years of participation, and our Baron of the Brave rank is for anyone reaching their 20th year of service with St. Baldrick. So it is my pleasure to conduct a knighting ceremony to highlight our league members who are part of today's event. Hear ye, hear ye. The League of Legendary Heroes hereby acknowledges St. Baldrick's partakers who have gone above and beyond to make life-saving research possible for 3 or more years, giving of their time, talent, treasure, and sometimes their hair. I hereby knight you Russell, Jamie, Patrick, Paxton, Noelle, Vianney, a Squire of Hope, and I hereby knight you Scott Brown, a Knight of the Ball Table. Will all new and current members of the League of Legendary Heroes please raise thy hand on screen to be recognized? Be it known to all that these members have earned the esteemed and heartfelt gratitude of the entire kingdom of St. Baldrick's. All hail the League of Legendary Heroes. Thank you. And so now the moment we've all been waiting for. We have 3 screens on the Zoom camera today. And so we're going to be kicking off our head shaving portion of the event. So if you're ready to get started, you can go right ahead. We'll be calling on everyone on screen to share a little bit about their involvement. But like I said just a few minutes ago, we have people from all over the country, and we even have some people who are joining us from Amsterdam. All right. So I see we got, let's see, who do we have here? Melissa Chow, can you help me out with who we have on screen? I see Phoebe is braiding her hair. Hi, Phoebe, thanks for joining us. Looks like Russell and Aiden might be ready to go.
Looks like Tyler, excuse me, looks like Tyler and Noelle are almost ready as well. They have their clippers in hand.
Yep, and it looks like Sean's already gotten started.
All right. And so we have, how many viewers do we have online right now on YouTube, Kelsey?
We have 150 watching live on YouTube, and currently they are giving lots of shout outs. So after this is over, you guys will be able to see all of the comments live on our YouTube stream, but everybody's been cheering on Tommy and Tyler and Anna. Everybody is so excited.
Woohoo! All right, so it looks like Sean is getting started. Sean, you're joining us. Is there anything that you'd like to share with some people who might be watching? Sean Daly.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
I've been doing this for about 12 years now. I'm part of the Stanford Fire Department team. I'm the team captain. I put together a bunch of firefighters. I've been doing it, like I said, for 12 years now. And I just want to say that, you know, it's great that everybody's here. It's great to see everybody shaving their heads, and have a great time, guys.
Well, thanks so much for all of your fire department support. We're glad that you could join us. And looks like you're coming live from Connecticut.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
It looks like we have Christine. She has a lot of long locks over there. She's getting ready to cut off her first braid. So Christine, I think you're joining us from California, local to the foundation. Awesome. And it looks like you've raised over $2,800. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Is this your first time doing this?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
How long did it take you to grow your hair?
About, oh my goodness, probably about a year or 2 years.
Wow. It looks like there's quite a few women joining us today with long hair. I see Phoebe still braiding, but we got Vianney as well. She got some good long hair. Will you guys be donating your hair as well?
I will be, yes.
Matt Gallagher has a bunch of braids chopped off. You have her on the second screen there. It's incredible. Look at those braids.
Wow. Tom, it looks like you're raising your hand. You ready to, you want to share something, or is there anything?
Yeah, I would just really like to thank everybody who donated to my event and everything like that to raise money this year for St. Baldrick's and winning for Wilson. It means a lot to me and everybody in my family that's involved. So I'm glad it all worked out and we were still able to do that this year.
Thank you. We're glad that we're glad it worked out and you could join us today as well. So thank you for shaving for Wilson.
Thank you.
And I'm guessing all those people over on
You go down the
YouTube
middle.
are your folks.
Looks like Paul there is about halfway done with his shave. How are you feeling there, Paul? I don't think he can hear me. Paul is actually joining us from
So do you want to?
All right, this thing's kind of loud in there.
Do you want to
Guys,
just take it?
You can go ahead and
earlier, or?
Jamie, do you have my phone?
We can hear you, Paul.
Yep. So I am doing this just for our future. We just had a baby girl, and I just learned about her, and really want to help out families that are going through some really tough times, and hopefully, you know, get some better research. There she is.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah. And I just want to thank all my friends that donated, because we put together about $800 in like 3 days, because I heard about the event really late and was just like, this sounds like I should do this. And so I'm really grateful for my friends out there that participated and helped raise the money.
That is so awesome, Paul. Thanks so much for sharing. And I know you're joining us from California, so it seems like you're local. We truly appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah, nice work, Paul. That sounds like your daughter's an inspiration to you. Kathleen just said a little message, and thank you so much for sharing and your support group in raising $800 in just a few days.
Yeah, I consider myself pretty lucky to have the friends that I do.
Yeah, thank you. And it looks like Patrick is ready to go as well. Patrick, is there anything you'd like to share with the group?
Sorry to get unmuted. Nothing too much. So as was said during the whole like knighting ceremony, my journey started 3 years ago when I was a freshman at Drexel University with my fraternity, Sigma Phi Epsilon. St. Baldrick's has been a philanthropy fraternity for a little over a decade now. And in that time, we've held a head shaving every year. This year we've had to move virtually, and that's happening in a couple weeks. But I'm proud to say we've been able to raise, hopefully with this year, about $500,000 for the St. Baldrick Foundation. So I'm really proud to be part of this foundation that's going to an amazing cause.
Thank you so much, Patrick. That's awesome that your fraternity is involved. And I know Kelsey could speak more to this, but we have a lot of colleges involved, and we're so thankful for your support.
Yeah, Patrick, Sigma Phi Epsilon has been one of our longest standing fraternity supporters over all of the years of Battle of the Bald. And so we truly appreciate everything that every chapter across the nation has helped to accomplish. And huge kudos to you and all of your fraternity brothers for always coming back year after year.
Christy Paulson, I believe. Hi, I think you were waving a bit ago. Are you ready to go? I think. Oh,
shaving. I shaved the first year, 6 years ago, but since then, what I do is I make patchwork quilts, and every year I raffle the quilts off. And this year, I wanted to show you guys the quilt that I was only able to get 182, but this one was really a work of art. And so give me just a moment, and my husband's gonna show the quilts. I call that rainbow chainmail.
that is absolutely beautiful.
Wow, that is so beautiful, Christy.
And I have a friend of mine by the name of Jerry Grant. Her granddaughter got cancer at 1. She got cancer again at 5. Thankfully, so far, she's back here again. But, you know, that is something that I enjoy doing. And so I figured that's one way I can give back. I wasn't so good with the shaved head, but that's something I can still do to help.
Well, we absolutely appreciate your support. I know that creating something like that takes a lot of heart, a lot of energy, a lot of time as well. So we appreciate all of your dedication and support for our mission. And, you know, we're so grateful to have you involved and be a part of our event today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me participate.
Of course.
Christy, everybody on YouTube is giving you huge shout outs. They say it looks amazing and it's absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. Me and my boobies.
Let's wait today.
Wait, can you?
Looks like Charles there has an interesting haircut right there. It's like half shaved. How are you feeling there, Charles?
I'm doing pretty good. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, that's just some inspiring stories, and that beautiful quilt there. I'm not so beautiful myself right now, but I don't know. I kind of like it. I'm getting some good progress here. This is my first time doing this. A couple guys at my office did it last year, and I thought it was such a cool thing to do. So I decided I would give it a try, and I've always had kind of longish hair for a guy. So this is going to be a new look for me, but it's worth it. This is just awesome. I love seeing all the people on here, and it's just for such a great cause. So I'm happy to do it.
Well, we're happy to have you join us all the way from Connecticut, Charles. We truly appreciate it. And you look.
Thank you.
I love the hair color of the Opawal family. I see it looks like Noah has some pink hair. Is that Tyler with teal hair there? How are you guys feeling?
Noel's almost done.
Okay, are we ready for the final cut here?
I think so.
All right.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye to your little hair.
Hello. After my third year doing it, managed to drag my younger brother into it too. You look so pretty.
Nice.
I'm so proud of you, honey.
Nice way to recruit, Noel. Thank you, Tyler, for accepting that challenge.
Yeah, thanks for making it a family affair. Looks like Jacob also has gotten started. Hi, Jacob.
That was ridiculous.
Go on. Jacob joining us from Illinois. And you were the top fundraiser of the event, right? That was postponed, or?
Yeah.
Wow. So you raised over $9,000.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Over $10,000 now.
Wow. Do you want to share with the group how you did that?
What?
Do you want to share with everyone your fundraising secrets?
I just asked a lot of people to donate. My mom put it out on Facebook 2 times. And lots of emails.
Wow. Yeah. Well, it sounds like you have a very supportive network, and I'm sure they're all watching right now as well. Thank you for joining, and
I would like to thank everybody who donated.
Thank you, Jacob. Thanks for sharing.
Looks like Russell there is already done with his shave. How are you feeling there? You're on mute, Russell.
Think we
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. All done, and it feels great.
We're glad. You look awesome.
Thank you. I like this look.
And it's a pretty day.
It's a much cooler day for it, and I'm glad to do this for kids.
Oh, thank you. We're happy to have you join us today.
Thank you. You too.
And Layla, looks like you're joining us from Ohio with a few other people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Is there anything you'd like to share with everyone? We know that your group has raised quite a bit.
Have to go.
We're really excited to have raised almost $5,000 this year.
Wow. Is there any fundraising secrets that you'd like to share with the group?
I like to
I
sing
have to
out a bunch
go.
of
Sorry, goodbye.
Sorry, goodbye.
There it goes.
There goes the first swipe.
Oh my gosh.
Is this your second year participating, Layla? Yep. Wow.
I don't know if you can see this, but this all came off of her head.
Oh yeah, we could see that. Do you want to
This
hold
is
it a
a
little
gallon
closer? Oh my gosh.
Amy, you have an incredible beard. How many inches is your beard? It's so long.
Yes, we have.
I don't know. It's not as long. It's probably 12, 14-inch beard. I actually shaved at an event 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I shaved almost a 2-foot beard. So it's coming back slowly but surely.
Okay.
Does that mean you're going to shave the beard next year?
I'll have my eye. It's on my.
We'll think about it next year. We have a 9-month-old. I'm trying not to traumatize too much. He really enjoys hanging on to the beard as a handle.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Hi, Sid. Did you want to say something?
Yes. Hi, guys. And I am bald. Woo! And I.
Woo!
And also, if you put a hat on me, I look like Fidel Castro. We're very well known in Cuba.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sid. That's awesome. You look great.
Give a thumbs up.
They didn't come in for the hassle
Say
thing.
bye.
Bye from Fidel Castro.
Bye. Thanks for joining. Alyssa has a big pile of hair there. How you doing, Alyssa?
I feel very light. Like I just lost 5 pounds. I don't know. My hair's like never been this short. Like I was born with more hair than this, and it was short. And there's so much. Like this is just a lot. This is my new pet. What is this? Like, ew. Now that this is off my head, it feels like it was never supposed to be on my head. Like it's so dead. But anyway.
Well, you look beautiful, and we're so excited that you stayed involved as your first year participating. So thank you so much. You're definitely rocking it.
Thank you.
Looks like Josh there just about ready to get shaven. Is that correct? How are you feeling?
We're good. We're good. Thank you.
Yeah, it looks like one of your little boys already shaved.
2 down, 1 to go.
Just you left?
It's just me, with one with the least amount of hair.
Well, your boys look awesome. Thank you for joining us from Colorado.
Yeah, we're excited. Thank you.
Looks like Jax is almost done too, and Jill. Jax and Jill. Another beard, yeah. How are you feeling, Jax?
How's it going? I still got the beard to go, but it's all gone. Just a beard now.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Scott, looks like you shaved. Are you shaving with anybody alongside you today? I think you're joining us from Indiana.
Yes, I'm from Indiana. This is my daughter, Elena. She always comes with us, and my wife, Melissa. It was very sad to see that our normal event got canceled. We've been doing it for 7 years now. I prefer the bald look, but it's the only time she'll let me do it. And it was nice to join you guys today, and it's nice to see everybody participate, and I love this cause.
Thank you, and congratulations on your new rank status as the Knight of the Ball Table this year.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brown family.
No problem.
Looks
Looks like Lucas there is almost done with his shave. How are you feeling there, Lucas? Hi. Lucas is joining us from Illinois. And it's actually his first year joining us, so that must be really exciting for you. Thumbs up. Okay. We're happy to have you join us today. And it looks like Jill there is all done with her shave. How are you feeling?
I'm very light now, but I got all my ponytails I'm going to donate. And never been bald before.
Well, you look awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today, all the way from Illinois.
No problem.
And we do have another honored kid and a sibling who would like to share a little bit with you guys as you are finishing up some of your shaves. Our honored kid, Addison, and his sister, Madeline. Addison was diagnosed in 2010 with acute lymphoblastic leukemia at the age of 5. And through his journey, it's been long and arduous, but full of amazing moments and new friends. 38 months of chemo left Addison with a compromised immune system. So he definitely believes that we need to have new medications that aren't so harmful in the long run. But he is not letting cancer stop him. He is studying daily to test for his next level of black belt in Taekwondo and exchange for full circle martial arts, where he started when he was early in his cancer treatment at age 7. His sister is also going to share today. Madeline is 18 years old and graduating from high school next month. She actually founded a nonprofit for siblings of critically ill kids, just to kind of help them have a way to share as well, since they often feel forgotten. So I believe Madeline is going to share a little bit, and then Addison is going to share a little bit, and we'll come back and talk to some of our shavees.
So much. Can you guys hear us? Hi. So my name is Madeline, and the story behind my nonprofit, which is Heartfelt Hugs, it's for siblings of kids with critical illnesses, as well as the families. We try to really help out everyone in the general run. So my brother was diagnosed when I was 8 years old, and I did go through a lot of different phases because I was so young. I didn't understand what was going on. I got a lot of negative attention, and because I felt really left out, and a lot of the attention and everything was shifted on my brother naturally because, you know, he had just gotten diagnosed. And so that kind of drug me down to the dirt for a little bit, just personally, because I couldn't comprehend it. And then I finally started to learn around when I was 12 years old that there were other people feeling the same way and other kids in the same situation. And I really started to understand what was going on. So I wanted to do something for the siblings and something so they felt like, you know, included and like they were, you know, equally as important, and they just had to understand what was going on with their family members. So I first started collecting toys because I was going to give toy donations to all the siblings at the hospital. But there was a lot of red flags and rules and regulations we had to go through at Children's. So we still had a ton of donated toys. And that's when we collaborated with the nonprofit There With Care. As some of you might know, they actually, they're based in Boulder, and they give like all sorts of things to cancer families. And we tied with them, hoping that, you know, we could help some of the families who they also helped and get some of the siblings from there, as well as from Children's Hospital. And there were a lot of social workers that were helping with us to send families our way. So when we started Heartfelt Hugs, it was going to be like a support group, but then that idea kind of went from like a support group with a therapist to more of a like, we actually want them to just have a day where they are just number one, and we can just give them everything that we can and make them feel as important and give them just like a really fun day to get their minds off of everything that was going on, instead of, you know, just them kind of hearing the same thing over and over and over again. So we have now bi-monthly events because that idea grew and we got more families pretty quickly. We started out with three kids, including myself, because we didn't get the word out for the first event. But now we have over 100 participants at every event, and we have families from all around Colorado. A lot of the families are from Colorado Springs and just kind of all over the place. We have Boulder, there's Denver, out like south and east and north and west. But because we're one of the only sibling-based organizations, because there's a lot of camps and stuff, but there's not as much, there's a lot of support groups, but not like, just a day for them to have fun. So we have events every 2 months and we go to the pumpkin patch and the ice skating rink, and then we can do smaller events where people donate sports tickets and stuff. We do that. So it really kind of became an amazing thing, and I just love all of our families and our volunteers. People help out from everywhere, and it's just so amazing to see everyone come together. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole idea.
Okay, and hi guys, I'm Addison. My story is when I was 5 years old, I was diagnosed with ALL, acute lymphoblastic blood cancer. And at the time I was kind of too young to understand what was happening, but all I knew was I was stuck in the hospital. I couldn't go anywhere, and I had IVs, I had ports. And then once I got out of the hospital, you would think, oh, you're totally free. But we had to be quarantined for so long. She didn't get to have any friends over. I didn't get to have any friends over. The whole house, we had to go out in masks.
If
And
that sounds familiar to anyone.
yeah. So what people don't realize is what we're going through now, this quarantine, is what cancer patients have to go through all the time. So thank you guys so much for being here today, shaving your heads.
And all the support. There's
yeah.
so many people on here, and I was watching as everyone shaved their head, and it was just crazy to watch. It was so amazing.
We have to support these cancer kids, and the money that St. Baldrick's funds helps so much with new procedures. I was on a trial in my cancer treatment, and it helped. I had a better, more successful treatment. My treatment was a little bit shorter, and yeah. So thank you so much for the funding from St. Baldrick's. It really helps. Thank
you guys. Thanks, Addison and Madeline. We appreciate you sharing with us and joining. And it looks like we have a lot of people who have finished up. There's so many bald heads on the screen, and there are a few other people still getting theirs finished up as well.
Yeah, Melissa, it looks like we have some special guests from Amsterdam, Henrik and Velas. I hope I pronounced that right. But we'd love to hear how you guys got involved with St. Baldrick's.
I think it's selfie time. Making sure they got the hair off.
Hi, you guys.
So Valis and Henrik were actually introduced to us by the Cochran family. How are you guys doing over there? I know Scott, Molly, and I believe Cameron are all shaving today, part of the Cochran family.
Hello, can you hear us?
Yes.
Perfect. We are just left with me. Scott and Cameron already both shaved. So we are excited to all be a part of it. Scott has done it. Is this your 9th year? I think it was his 9th year.
Yes.
Shaving. Cameron 2nd, and oh my gosh, come out, Cam. And then in this year, quarantined, and why not?
Yeah, we're so happy to have you guys join us. It's really a family affair.
We're all friends in Amsterdam. I don't see anybody.
Nice shaved head.
I don't see.
Cam, they're talking to us.
Lehet, hogy minket fognak szólítani.
Well, thanks for joining us. We're so excited that you guys could rally people together from literally the other side of the world during this time. So it's really awesome to see how technology can bring us together.
We are very happy to take a part.
Thank you. We appreciate your support.
Huge shout out to Katie, who somehow has her cell phone going on one hand and then her clippers in the other. Doing
Yeah, this
amazing.
is hard.
Yeah. Talk about multitasking.
Bailey was supposed to be shaving me, but she's having too much fun.
Katie, is there anything you want to share? You raised over like $3 grand, 3,500. That's amazing.
Hey, come here. Come here. This is Maylee, my little sidekick. She's the inspiration for me doing this. We thankfully have been blessed with really good health, but I know a lot of other families aren't that fortunate. So that's why we wanted to do this. And when I first signed up, I set my goal for 700 and I didn't think that I would make that. So it's just amazing that I was able to raise over 3,500. And I just wanted to say thank you to all my friends, my family, and my work that donated. And this is the most action this little town has seen in a long time. Woo! So much fun.
Woo, we're so glad to hear that. Yeah, I love that your town is just right there supporting you. That's awesome. That is so cool. Thank you guys. I'm sure you have a lot more viewers on YouTube too.
Looks like Thomas there is all done. How are you feeling there, buddy?
Good.
Good. You look awesome. I know it's your 4th year joining us all the way from Illinois, and we truly appreciate you joining today.
Yeah, this year, yeah, it's my 4th year, but yeah, this year I never expected to get so many people. I mean, it's the first year that I've had a group of more than two people, including me, and now I have like 13 other people. It's really amazing.
It's really awesome, and to see you put together your team Shawnee Shavers is truly awesome. So you get
yeah, actually I have we made shirts.
That is awesome. You guys can all be matching.
Yeah,
really
actually, Jacob and Jacob and a few other shavers are actually currently here now. I don't know if they've shaved or left or whatever.
Lucas, Jacob, and Isaac.
Lucas, Jacob, and Isaac. I don't know if they've. Yeah, I'm not sure who shaved yet or not.
Hi, Jacob's right there. Jacob, do you want to say something?
So when I heard about the Shawnee Savers, Thomas was just asking for donations. But me and one other person from the group decided to actually join the group, and then the group grew to 13 people instead of what would be probably 2. Yeah, thanks Thomas for telling everybody about the group. And this was
overall, we've raised about $21,000. Jacob really helped that. Yeah, and I just want to say thank you to all the Shawnee Shavers, anyone who's donated, and just overall St. Baldrick for arranging it.
Thank you, Thomas. We are so happy to have you join us.
Oh, that was really sweet. Thank you guys. That is really impressive. I do want to give a shout out to everybody on screen. With everybody jointly, we have over $63,220 raised with everybody participating today. So that is really something to be proud of. Thank you guys so much. It's really exciting. And I see people giving each other a round of applause. So that's really incredible. All right, we're going to call on a few more people in case anybody would like to share. And if we haven't called on you, we're so sorry. We have a few screens, so it's awesome that we have so many participants. But it looks like Katie, oh yeah, she's still getting shaved. And let's see who else.
Grace, how are you doing down there? The Fishman family. You want to share something?
Wait.
Are they talking to you? Hello? They were? Of course.
Yeah, trying to see how you guys are doing. The Fishman family.
Hey.
Say hi.
Hi. They got you unmuted. Oh, sorry. Say hi, Chase.
Say hi.
They want to know, why are you doing this? Chase, tell them why you're doing this, honey.
To help kids with cancer.
He doesn't have a story to share, but he's very excited to do this to help other boys and girls. He's a little shy, so he had his mom talk for him.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Looks like Tommy there is all done. How are you feeling there, Tommy? Can you hear me, Tommy? Yes. How are you feeling there?
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm feeling great. Yeah, this is just such a great thing to be a part of. I'm in the same frat as Patrick, and I don't know. I think it's awesome to be involved with something like this. I raised over $200, and just doing like my little part, being a part of this, raising money. I don't know. It's awesome.
Thank you. We're happy to have you join us all from Pennsylvania. We truly appreciate it.
Let's go.
Love it.
Tommy, you have a ton of fans on YouTube right now tuning in for your shave.
Vianney, did you make your own headband? It's beautiful.
Bea, how does it feel? Yeah.
Great. I mean, this is the second time that I actually shaved my head, but I didn't know about St. Baldrick's at the time, so I'm glad this time I can kind of combine both, donate my hair and raise some funds for everybody and still show support despite, you know, the crazy times that we're in right now. So it feels great. I can't wait to wash it all off though.
Well, thank you so much. It's awesome. You look beautiful. And for everyone on screen, we do have a vlog that has some tips on how to care for a newly shaved bald head. So we'll share that. But just wanted to throw that out there.
Jax is now rocking a St. Baldrick's beanie from one of our events up in Windsor.
Yep. There's my friend Carlos who did the hair cutting, and he introduced me to this event and organization. So he brought the beanie, and I'm glad to be repping it now. Yeah, he's not cutting his hair.
Oh. I want to keep mine. This is the first year I didn't cut my hair.
Yeah, so he's done it past 2 years, introduced me, and yeah, I'm glad. And the beard's gone. Weird.
Whole new person.
Oh yeah, okay, but yeah, awesome event. Thank you guys.
Vianney, everybody on YouTube wants to know if those are all of your ponytails hanging behind you on your clothesline.
They are. They're airing out. Sorry for the noise in the back. Sorry, I've been missing my cue. It's like DNA, but with the V and A. So I want to hear. So sorry if I wasn't responding to Vianney. Yeah, this is what I'm going to donate for Wigs for Kids. It is airing out, and I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who donated and who are big supporters. The little guy was my kiddo. His name's Ezra, and he has Down syndrome. And through this process before, you know, I was encouraged by somebody at church and to do this, and then later on I was pregnant, and then I learned so much with my son. And so finding out that kiddos with Down syndrome are most risk or more at risk to develop childhood leukemia, which I just found out a couple weeks ago. So prevention and making sure that we're getting our white blood count when they're kiddos is so important. So thank you so much for letting me be a part of the virtual shave, and thank you everybody who supports. And I mean, we're in this together, and I think, was it Colin 2 days ago that shared that we all have empathy now because he was talking about how when kiddos go through treatment, they have to be quarantined for months and even years sometimes, and they have to Clorox everything and no visitors and just be very, very responsible and careful. And now we have empathy for the kiddos that are going through this whole thing. Sorry, I might start crying. So it's just amazing how we can all come together and celebrate and honor and recognize. So thank you guys. Thanks for fighting the good fight. And this is nothing. This will grow. But you guys, strong, amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And thanks for bringing Ezra to the party. We're glad he could join.
Like Ben over there is almost done shaving, or he's already done. I can't tell. How are you feeling there, Ben?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, I'm feeling great. I feel like 10 pounds just came off my head.
Well, you look awesome. We're happy to have you join us all the way from New York today.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Anything you'd like to share with us?
Just shout out to Farmingdale and the Farmingdale Fighters, the team I was a part of for St. Baldrick's, and we're proud of all the money we raised. So,
Awesome. Well, we're happy to have you join us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Looks like Jeff there is done with his shave as well. How are you feeling there, Jeff?
That was great, Benny.
I'm doing well. We're really excited. Me and my son do this every year. This is our 5th year. And we usually do it through our high school. We have the Bears Beating Cancer Club. So the kids come out, we go out and support the kids with their club. And over the years, I think me and my son, he's 8, he's done it for 5 years. He started when he was 3. And he's really excited to do it. He actually got really upset that they weren't having the event this year. So we found this on Monday. And he ended up raising $500. Here he is. Hi, Charlie.
Hi.
That's awesome.
And we're really excited that we got involved, and thanks for doing this.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. You two look awesome rocking the ball, and we truly appreciate you joining us all the way from Connecticut today.
Thanks.
It looks like we're being outnumbered with the amount of bald heads now.
Michael Page, do you have your firefighter logo on your cape?
Yes, ma'am. My daughter made a sign as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Is there anything you'd like to share, Michael?
Just that professional firefighters of Greensboro are proud supporters of St. Baldrick's Foundation, and thanks for everything you guys do.
Oh, thank you. You got into spirit. You even have a sign made. That's incredible.
Thank you, Michael, for joining us from North Carolina, representing. Is there anyone else that we haven't called on screen that would like to share?
Or anybody else who has a sign they would like to share?
We've got an old sign that we I don't know if you guys can see it, but the boys have been shaving their head.
Yes, rock the bald. I shave because 1 in 5 kids are diagnosed.
So our boys have been shaving since they were, 3 years old, maybe. They've been shaving almost all their lives. So this is something special for us.
Thanks, Josh. It's nice to see you again. I don't know if you remember me, but we met a couple years ago at the Colorado event with Andy and Finn, and it's nice to see you guys again.
Good to see you. I do remember you. And I assume you have a new addition to your family since last we spoke.
Yes, I do. She's 1 year old already, so it's crazy how time flies, but thank you guys for joining.
Looks like Gianna there is almost done with her shave. How are you feeling there? Can't hear you. Uh-oh, it's like a little audio trouble there. Lucas, how are you doing? Good.
There you go.
I am doing good.
Hey, did you shave today, Lucas?
I shaved because I had an old babysitter, and she was one of our neighbors, and she had cancer, and then she died. And
She'd be real proud of you, Lucas.
Thank you so much, Lucas. So it looks like pretty much everybody has finished up their shaves. And what we'd like to do is just take a minute for you all to, if you have those signs that you want to hold up or you haven't been able to hold them up yet, and just give each other a big cheer. We're going to unmute everybody and send it out with what St. Baldrick's is all about, which is community and hope. So go ahead and hold those signs up and just give each other a hand for what you've done here today and the promise that you delivered on. Everybody.
Nice job. There's some good looking bald people out there.
Yeah, there are.
Oh, nice. That's a nice touch, whoever did that.
That was Katie.
Nice job, Katie.
So thank you all so very much for joining this virtual event with a real impact and continuing to be heroes, working together with and for our kids and their families to take childhood back from cancer. Keep up the great work. And I take my hat off to all of you until we meet again. Be well and stay safe.
Thank you so much. Look
Thank
forward to
you.
seeing you guys for
Good job,
virtual
everyone.
coffee.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good idea.
Bye.
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 Bye.